Pray for her. Pray for the live. Pray for Livisha. Oh, are we on the phone? Bitch. Bitty bitty bee. All right. Not they're trying to silence me, bitch. I'm crying. I'm trying not to think like that. I'm trying not to think like that, bitch. I really am. But you know, YouTube is weird these days. So who fucking knows, bitch, honestly. Like YouTube is honestly scary. Like I've been watching this one creator, right? And she's been posting like TikToks of like people having conversations. Like I don't know if people have been seeing that, but there's like a lot of creators, specifically creators from like African countries who are like creating videos where they take people's TikToks, they don't credit them, and then they're like making a lot of money, obviously, off of being able to share these people's thoughts and shit. And then, for some reason, like I at first when I first started seeing her content, I noticed that she wasn't tagging people, and she recently broke silence about how like she was tagging people, and then like somebody got her channel fucked up because like she had tagged them in the video and people were mad at what that person had said, and so that person, instead of just like holding that they were getting dragged, was like, oh, this content creator is sending a hate mob my way, and got their account all fucked up. And so that's why they're saying they don't credit people when they share their TikToks, which I think is really fucked up still, because it's like you could credit them in the comment section and be like, don't send them hate, so that it's obvious that you're not doing that. But anyways, I noticed in her content, she would usually share, like if people were saying something misogynistic, she would only really share videos of people who were making the point that this is misogynistic, why it's misogynistic, their own personal connections. And now it seems like she's starting to include content of people who are like racist, anti motherfucking trans. Like it seems like she's trying to be fair and balanced and like putting in information in these videos that is not fact checked. And it's awkward because it's like, you know, there's people that are sharing, you know, researched facts, and then there's people that are just sharing their points of view, but like they're privileged and like their point of view is coming from a privileged perspective. And so it's honestly something that we don't really fucking need, but it's one of those things where it's like, does she realize that? Because it's like there's moments where like she'll be like saying some shit and I'm like, okay girl, we on the same page. But then it's like, you know what sucks, oh my god, this is a whole nother aspect of it, is like I want to be super candid that like I'm at a point with gender where like I can see like beyond the dichotomy of binary, right? So it's like I don't think that men are inherently evil. I know at this point that we are all being socialized into patriarchy to play roles, and men's role in patriarchy is as oppressor and oppressed, like just like white people are oppressors and oppressed. And I feel like that's something that we have to start holding, that like there's people that aren't just oppressors, they also are oppressed in their own respects. I'm not saying that that's very important to us in this moment, because it's really not. And I was trying to tell that to this man. I was like, you know, you are being harmed by patriarchy. I was like, and we don't talk to men like you're not bad, you're a part of, you're being harmed by a system, and you're being offered the opportunity to be the in the hierarchy of it, while also benefiting from it while you're being harmed by it. And he was appreciative of that, which kind of is annoying, because it's like when you tell men like, oh, I don't think it's your fault, like you're being socialized, you're being conditioned, they're like, thank you. And it's like, girl, that ain't it though. That's not it. We're not done. But I feel like they're so happy that like someone is holding that, like they're the nuance, because that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to be on some fucking all lives matter with men. That is not what I'm trying to offer. What I am trying to offer is that, just like, not just like, there are ways that patriarchy harms all of us, not just the non men, but the ways that some of us internalize patriarchy can make us abusive. And I think that that's a combo we I am not mad we're not there, because we can't really, like, you can't really have those nuanced deep dives about how women can take on patriarchal roles in society, how women can perpetuate patriarchy. Like, we can't really talk about that so deep, because we still can't even agree that, like, cis men are fucking at the top of the goddamn food chain when it comes to oppression in terms of gender. And so it's like, if we can't get a basis for a reality, then what are we really doing, you know? But I said all that to say that I'm aware now that, like, there are ways that I hold on to patriarchal understandings. There's ways that I expect men to perform because of what I've seen. There's ways that I expect men to be at times. And not just that, but I feel like at times, if I'm being super honest with you, I have found myself being quite homophobic towards men that were queer. And this is something that, like, I'm breaking silence on because it's important. That, like, just because people are trans, just because people are LGBTQIA, doesn't mean that we can't also be oppressive and be having oppressive ideas about how people should be showing up. And so, just like I think it's absurd personally that any woman is being held to a standard of, like, uh behavior, in terms of, like, just because she's a woman or identifies as a woman, she needs to do X, Y, or Z. I also feel the same way about men. And I think that that's part of, like, where some people are stuck, because how the fuck do we allow ourselves to acknowledge that, like, patriarchy wants us to do some shit we don't want to do, and the nuance behind men's behavior oftentimes, I feel like it goes underexpressed. And this is not me trying to say that we should cape for men, but I hope nobody's hearing that. I hope that's not what I'm saying. I hope that's not coming through. I'm just more so trying to offer that there are times where, how, like, men will be like, oh, some women are abusers, or, like, some women harm men. It's not that we don't know that. It's that we are so harmed by men that we don't have the spoons to be looking at women and non men as if they're doing something so inherently wrong, because we know that none of us are leaving people with babies. None of us well, I shouldn't say none of us are sexually assaulting, but I feel like that's part of what I'm saying. Like, there's times where we couch things in men that are not just men, and we couch things in masculinity and patriarchy, so we can avoid having to call out who else is doing the shit, because we can see men's behavior very clearly now, but what's not so clear is how the rest of us operate within patriarchy and harm each other, and also at times can be potentially harming men, that are, not necessarily cis men. I think that's another aspect of it too. But I also want to say that, like, if you're not a cis man but you're choosing to take on masculinity, it's important for you to unpack the ways that you've taken, what up, babies? It's the way that you've taken on patriarchy and expect other people to hold it. Like, in some respects, I never really expected my partner to, like, take care of me and, like, financially, like, be like the sole provider, because I've never experienced that. I've never experienced a man being a sole provider in any aspect of my life. And so I think, even when I was shady, but, like, I just don't got it. I just do not got it, bitch. And I feel like talking to that man tonight was so draining. And I'm bringing this up because I feel like this is why I even came here. There was a conversation that men were having on TikTok last week about body count. And there was a woman who talked to this man and was like, okay, so you don't want a woman with a high body count. Don't date him. And it was that fucking simple. But he kept on trying to, like, fight with her and try to make her feel dumb and stupid and all these things. And it was awkward as fuck because, at the end of the day, if I know that I want to date someone who's tall, I'm not going to bother the short kings. But for some reason, men really do feel the need to be harming women, um, or controlling women just because they want them, which is weird. Or they want them, but they don't want them to feel confident. I feel like that's the other aspect of it too, because it's like men will date a single mom. Men will date a woman who has kids. Men will date a woman that has been married before. Men will date a woman that's pregnant with a baby that's not his. They don't care like that. But if you let men tell it, they really care about body count and do. I just feel like when that man was talking to me, he was reeking of purity culture. Like I could tell he felt better about himself as a black man because he had his children in wedlock. And my thing is this: you are great to have your kids in whatever situation you're going to have them in, but baby, I would just not even go too hard with talking about, well, I had my kids in wedlock. Sweetie, you're divorced. And you're hiding the fact that you were previously married and had kids on your profile. You are presenting like you are a single man who's 39. You're not performing like you're not operating like the whole conversation, the whole vibes, it wasn't giving father. And here's my thing. Maybe some of y'all think that you shouldn't put kids on dating profiles. I don't disagree with you, but you could put an emoji over that little baby head and and not send me, but post a candid with you and your baby, at least one. So bitches know that you're first of all in that baby life and second of all doing your thing. I mean, I feel like when it comes down to preferences, I think that like because I'm not a man, I can't even speak too much to how why men are doing what they're doing because I really can't tell you, bitch. I wish I could. But I do think that like there are a lot of men from what I've been hearing that are just swiping and hoping that somebody will date them. Like I don't know if y'all realize this, but the reason why the rhetoric around women is getting so bad is because men don't know any women anymore. They don't. Every man I meet is getting fucked and then getting dumped. Cause bitches ain't playing that. They're not playing the whack shit. And it's funny because I fucked this dude. Mm, I didn't fuck him, but we did a little something. But his energy was so ugly. Like I texted him and was like, I want to cuddle tonight. And he's like, my arm is sore from cuddling last night. And I was like, bitch, you didn't even tell me your arm was sore at all. You didn't say nothing about no ailment you didn't say nothing about no workplace injury. And for me, babe, I'm gonna be so for real. Like, he was cute, sure. But there were a couple things that I just don't feel like is gonna work out for me. First of all, bitch, he had a ponytail beard. And I just feel like if your beard is to a point where you're wearing a ponytail and he had the nerve to talk about something, he trying to keep it neat. Sweetie, it's like 18 hairs. Like, it's not that much. Like he got the nerve to have like a very triangle face, but want to have an extra long. And this is the man that told me he was a succubus. Excuse me. He told me he was a fucking incubus, and I was like, sweetie, not your demon. That's crazy, but okay, live life. Anyways, but nah, he really hit me with, oh, my arm was aching from cuddling. I was like, girl, your arm was aching. Sweetie, I'm gonna fucking unmatch him so quick. Cause I'm like, sweetie, I don't mean no shade when I say this. And I mean this with all the love. It's hard to get to the dentist these days. I could really use a cleaning myself. But one thing that really was blowing me was, baby, his breath. Whoo, it was something going on. And I feel bad because it was like I was all in my mouth the next day. I did not kiss him, and I felt bad because he kept trying to kiss me, and I kept being like, because it's like, sweetie, your breath smell like taco truck. Like it smelled like taco truck, and I can't do it. And then I kept making excuses. He's like, why won't you kiss me? He didn't say that, but he was like, I really want to make out, and I was like, yeah, but if I make out with you, I'm gonna get caught up. I was like, I can't be falling in love, babe. Sweetie, I'm not making out with everybody, bitch. But if your mouth smells like cat poop, hell no, bitch. But bitch, I don't know. I was trying to figure out what it was, girl. I was looking at bitch. You know somebody breath stink when you looking in their mouth like, can I see what's going on? Can I see the devastation? Because baby, like the way that it was coming out, it was like damn. And again, like I don't think he a bad dude. I don't think he the worst man in the world. No shit like that. But I just feel like, sweetie, your breath stank, and I still was like, maybe it was a, you know what I mean? Like we ate s'mores. He had some chocolate. It could really be that he had chocolate and Funyuns, so it could have really been that deadly combo. Hours before we hooked up, um, and then he laying down, and this the chocolate and the Funyun is in the, it's in the toot, it's in the crack, it's in the crevice, and then they're mingling. And then the mouth is hot and acidic, bitch. So it's hot, acidity, it's spicy, it's fermentation, it's kombucha, it's a lot. And so all I'm gonna say is, when he was breathing, bitch, I was like, good lord. Good lord. I offered him an Altoid, bitch. He said no. I was like, that's crazy. Also, on top of it, bitch, he was barely drinking any water. I was like, ma'am. And see, that's the thing that blows me. It's like, bitch, like these motherfuckers be popping out saying any old fucking thing. Like this motherfucker, like, bitch, I can't. Men don't say anything to get some pussy. Anything, just to get a scoop. Just get a scoop. It's crazy. I'm done. And bitch, I thought about robbing him today too. That's the craziest thing. Cause bitch, his wallet was poking, bitch. He had mad money hanging out of it. I was like, sweetie, is this a trick? Is this a test? But between me and you, bitch, you can't be robbing everybody, bitch. I don't know this man. He a Virgo, bitch. I'll be scared to rob a Virgo, bitch, to be honest. Because I feel like the Virgo petty is so different. Virgo petty is so fucking different. So I don't want to lose my life. uh-uh. But he had the nerve to talk about something he don't really like, ghosting. He's like, if you don't like something about me, just tell me. And I kind of felt bad about ghosting him, but then I was like, why? I was like, baby, your breath stink. And honestly, I just feel like, between me and you, I feel like anybody who tells me that their like arm is sore from cuddling me, it's like, sweetie, there were so many pillows and opportunities for you to figure it out. But what it also tells me is you don't know how to cuddle a fat bitch. On top of that, I'm gonna be so for real. I never let nobody choke me before, for real. So I feel like me, not not what the fuck was I about to say? See, motherfuckers be damn. But yeah, I just feel like me not being super like again, I wasn't super into him, which made it easier to like be physical with him. It's weird. It's like I didn't care about being sexual with him. So like when we were cuddling and it got a little bit spicy, I was like whatever, but I wasn't like, oh my god. And so anyways, and when we chilled today, I told you, bitch, he tried to put a spell on me, I put a spell on him, and then he ended up doing a bunch of stuff for me. But then in the end, I was like, girl, I'm not just gonna tell me your arm hurts. Like, granted, I probably sound fucking toxic, but I just feel like at the end of the day, bitch, I just feel like this is why. This is why I don't be dealing with people. Cause it's like, sweetie, I was willing to see if you will get like a lozenge, a motherfucking mouthwash. Like, I just wanted to see, like, was that your real breath? Cause one time I went out with a dude and I thought his breath was stinking, but it wasn't. It was like the weed. Like he blew out some weed, but I thought it was his natural breath, and I was like, and I was shook. And then I found out later, but I was just like, damn. And here's the thing: I'm not trying to say like I'm hating on people, my teeth, dentistry, da, da. No, it's just more like if you eat Funyuns and chocolate before you about to hook up with somebody, and we didn't even know we were gonna hook up. It was so random. Like between me and you, I didn't even really want to hook up. I literally told him, I was like, bitch, I just want to cuddle. Cause I'm telling you, all these men be hitting me up talking about something. I want to cuddle, and it's like, bitch, the gag is you're about to cuddle with me for real. We going to sleep, ho. We taking naps. Here's my thing though. I don't give a fuck because I just feel like at the end of the day, bitch, he is down bad. Like, he's down bad. And I feel like, bitch, I knew he was down bad, but bitch, I was bored. And so I just gotta remind myself, like, when we know people are down bad, just get away. Because I feel like that's gonna help me get better at, like, just getting away from shit, in period, in general. But I feel like last night, I was just kind of like, whatever, whatever. But today, I was just like, no. Because really, bitch, I feel like, look, people breath stink sometime, and it's not the end of the world. But I feel like for him, I just think I don't know, bitch. I also feel like he one of those Virgos that's like real depressed. And I'm not good with those kind of Virgos. Like I feel like I like the Virgos that know they're gonna win again, they're gonna rise, they're the Phoenix. Like he a Eeyore type Virgo bitch. And I was like, damn dog. Damn. He was like, I'm directionless. I'm like, girl, you about to go on a road trip to Colorado to go start a farmer's market. That's not directionless, bitch. What are you talking about? Like, I hate to say this, but I feel like he wanted so bad to seem like mysterious and deep. And it's like you just a white man with a deep voice who don't be saying too much. Just be that. And you wear wooden jewelry. Just be that. You don't have to be nothing else. What up, Aries? I'm telling you, like I feel like some of these dudes that I meet, like they're so touch starved, they're so like lonely, and it's like I get it, bitch, me too, but it's like, babes, like it gotta make sense for me. Like bitch, and I meant to conjure, but I really didn't. But new moon, hear me, ho, like just bring me some love and laughter, bitch. Pasta and lobster. Like I'm really not trying to fucking do too much. No babies, no babies, please, no babies. Just let them stay away from me. Cause every time I turn around, it's a single dad. And girl, the single dads are bugging. Like, girl, every time I turn around, somebody tells them, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Do we have a good conversation?" Then all of a sudden, they start talking about their kid all the time, and it's like, sweetie, I mean no shade when I say this, but like we're trying to get to know each other. I'm not. I'm not saying don't talk about your kid at all, but like bitch, every damn convo they're talking about their kid, and it's just like, sweet. I mean no shade when I say this, but you have to be able to compartmentalize. I'm child free. Like I appreciate you sharing with me what you do, but like you're a stranger. I shouldn't see a picture of your child yet. Personally, no shade. But this one man I'm talking to, he talk about something. Oh, he's like, I'm a single dad. I have a 5 year old son. It's a lot of motherfuckers with 5 year olds out here right now. I don't know what happened 5 years ago, bitch, but those hoes are done. I don't know. Do anybody got around here got a friend that got a 5 year old or had a 5 year old and now they live with their daddy? Let me know, cause I'm meeting a lot of these men who the baby got left on the doorstep. Cause I don't believe for a minute that they have full custody because they want to, bitch. I think hoes are like, oh, you don't want to be with me? Have the baby then. I'm loving it. I like look, people really think it's fucked up when mothers give the baby back to the dad. But my thing is this. I've never experienced a miscarriage or even a pregnancy scare. Well, I've been scared that I was pregnant, but it was delusion. But I still bought the test. But it was delusion. You know what I mean? But I still bought the test. But I don't know what it's like to like go through that. I do know what it's like to think that you're pregnant and be scared and to be worried about what your life is gonna be, to be wanting to harm yourself because you don't want to have a child. I know about that for sure. And that's the thing that I think some men don't realize is like whether or not you are a mother, you may have still gone through the fear of becoming one. And they don't get it. I'm dead. Here's my thing. There was a TikTok video that went viral of this man talking about how he filed for full custody and how his ex will not see the child and how the child hates the mother and all these other things. And bitch, between me and you, I did see a deep dive on the mother. I personally think that that's wild. Um, that like a man was sitting on camera with his son talking about a custody agreement that was going wrong. The fact that he didn't see that as emotionally unintelligent, very telling. The fact that he was trying to expose his ex, the mother of his child, um, when like to like the entire world, bitch. Like I just feel like some men don't realize like some of the shit that they do. It's just so clear like you're the one that's like that. And like granted, like the woman, like there are people digging into her backstory and trying to like make her feel like a bad person. And it sucks because it's like people want women to like hold themselves accountable so bad for shit that everybody doing. Everybody fucking. But for some reason, when you have a child, when you bring a child to Earthside, all of a sudden, like, you are fucked up. Like, you're automatically fucked up. And so now I'm seeing women, like, decide, like, I'd rather just have this baby go to their dad. And I feel like a lot of men, I hate to say this, I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm seeing a lot of men trying to be parents, single parents, and it looks so scary. It looks so scary, bitch. It looks so scary. Like I've gone on a date with a few fucking single men who are fathers, and they've been so manipulative. And I'm realizing like, y'all, there needs to be a PSA, or I need to go find some videos and post them, cause these single fathers, they're out for blood, bitch. They're trying to find slaves immediately. It's scary as hell. And that's the thing though. He thought taking custody. I think when he took custody, I think he thought he was gonna easily find another bitch to be a fake mom. And the fucked up thing about that is there are men that will move women in very easily, and there are women that'll take on the responsibility of being a parent. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking front, bitch. My ass was acting stupid as fuck a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, I wanna meet your daughter. Bitch, no, I really don't. I don't wanna meet no more kids. I know some kids. I'm good. Yes, they want, they, yes, and when you say little bitch, you mean little bitch, because they want a young girl. They want a young girl who don't know what's about to happen. The weirdest energy. The weirdest energy. I agree. But nah, I told bitch why I was talking to this man and I was like, if I got pregnant and we weren't cool, I wouldn't tell you I was pregnant. I would just leave the baby on your doorstep. That man was mad as fuck. I was like, and I just feel like that's crazy. Like, if you leave some nut in my pussy and it materializes, you can't have it back. Absolutely. I don't need my half back. You got it. You really got it. I got you. You can have all the swaddling blankets. Whatever I got, you got. But nah, I don't see it. And I feel like that's the thing for me too, is like I feel like a lot of these men are expecting that women are gonna care about having their kids. And a lot of women don't want kids because they want to relive their childhood as adults because they didn't get one. Like capitalism stole our childhoods, y'all. So it makes sense why some of y'all do not want to have kids. Because whenever I'm around my single parent friends and their kids, my ass be crying. Because I see them trying to parent from love and not scarcity and fear. And that fucks me up. Because I'm like, damn, imagine getting good family. Imagine getting someone that loves you for real. That's amazing. But that's hard to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's hard for me to see children get love and care and compassion because it genuinely fucks me up. Like it genuinely makes me feel like, damn, I never experienced that and I needed that. Like you know what I mean? Like I see little kids get things that I needed and I'm like, oh fuck, I really needed that too. Damn. And I'll be just crying because it's like I'll see my friends like just talk to their kid like they're a regular person and not like yelling and bossing. And I'll be like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like imagine your parent just talking to you like a peer. Like I'm not saying it works for every person, but they're not talking to you like you're not gonna grow up one day. Like I feel like that's the thing. Some parents talk to their kids like they're never about to grow up and like be a full person. Like they talk to them like they're a fucking burden, like they're fucking annoying, like they're not worth like talking to nice. And so I feel like seeing people parent their children in a way that like I needed. Whew. So that's how I know I can't be no parent, because I can't even, bitch, I be catching strays just on the internet scrolling. Like I seen this little girl talk about how her mom took her on a vacation and she's so happy. And I'm like, man, I wish my mom had been able to maintain being single and was able to take us on vacation. I wonder what my life would be like if my mom prioritized herself, you know? Like patriarchy stole from us, capitalism stole from us, white supremacy stole from us. Somebody must have been stolen from. That's real. That's real. I think it's hard for people to really even date as parents. Like most of my parent friends, I see here, and that's the other thing too. I know a lot of single moms who be on these dating sites, but they have to fight to like have a connection with somebody and then feel safe to go meet up with them. And I see single fathers just out here, bitch, just busting it down. And it's funny to me because it's like, sweetie, you need to really be at the house coming up with a fucking plan for organization, meal prep, and y'all out here trying to find a bitch to do that shit for you. Like, I had a man tell me straight up that he was looking for me to, like, help make his house look nicer. And I was like, what in the Mary Maids? Like, bitch. They don't give a fuck about what's going on in your brain, what hobbies you like. They don't give a fuck. It's so sick, bitch. I'm so disgusted. Like, I swear, I stay talking to men and they'll say anything. Woo. And that's the other thing that sucks is like, I know if I fuck somebody, I have no problem respecting them. But for some reason, men will fuck you and then really treat you like a piece of shit. And it's okay. like, like, let me know how you really feel about your stuff. But, anyways, I feel like I'm about to go lay my ass down, call my little fucking Louisville dip. Because I'm mad I didn't include him in one of my boyfriends. But that's mainly because, honestly, bitch, I'm just not sure about him. Like I like him and he's cool, but there's a tiny part of me that feels like like not married, but I know he got another person that he's dating, and I just don't know that like I just don't know what is about to happen. It's fun to talk to people or whatever, but you know, like we had a little sexy little moment and it was cute or whatever, but it's not that I don't like him. It's more that I'm just like he a single dad, so and that's where I'm at. Like I don't know that I want to be entertaining single dads right now, cause like I said, they keep on using their kids as a personality. Like these single dads be telling me about their kids. I'm like, sweetie. Oh, he told me. He told me that he's dating somebody. Like he's poly, so it's not like I'm jealous or anything. But I just wonder how that person fits into his life. Not necessarily like I need to know, but I just don't understand like what his like situation is. And like the thing is, I know that him and this person are like dating and he's happy with her. But I know that he like deactivated his OK Cupid after we started talking. And for the most part, I feel like he's taking me pretty seriously. But on the other hand, I feel like I think I'm just like someone fun to talk to, you know? But I know he rich. So there's a part of me that's like, let me stop, bitch. I'm fucking crazy. I'm just saying though. Like he's rich, he's cute, he's pro black. I'm pretty sure he's in the Black Panther party. Like he's really on his shit. But with that being said, he do got a white passing Mariah Carey baby. And I just feel like that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, bitch. It's a lot. I think he's solo poly. Pretty sure. But he has a white baby moms. And so there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know, child. Yeah, there's solo poly, which means that like you are the main and everybody else is like your side boo, but your main relationship is with yourself. Then there's people who have like a nesting partner, someone that they live with, and that is like their main partner because they make like big life decisions with that person because they live together, maybe share cats or some shit. And then like there's other partners, metamors and things like that. There's people who are polyfidelitous, meaning that they are poly, but they're in a main relationship with each other. So oftentimes you'll see like married people in poly F, which is basically that they are married, committed, and loving each other, but they also want to maybe date together, find a unicorn. Poly F are usually the most toxic polys, to be honest with you, because they don't believe in poly. They believe that their relationship is the main relationship, and their relationship comes before any other relationship. And usually, as a couple, they don't have the same interests. Like, that's the thing. That I notice. Like those relationships be toxic because the man be introducing a woman, and the woman may not ever get a chance to introduce a man, and then there's cheating and weird shit. Like I said, there's different layers of poly. There's polyamory, polyfidelity, solo poly. I am fat. What up? But oh, it's okay, baby. You good. Um, but yeah, like I was saying though, I call it? Damn, what was I saying before that? Not your pearls and their caboodle. I'm dead. But yeah, no. There's so many different polys. Um, there's poly triads, like people who are like in relationships with three people. There's thruples, where there's like three different couples in the relationship. Like there's three people, and each of them have a relationship with the other person in a different capacity, and maybe relationships with each other in different capacities. There's like gaggles, polycules. A lot of thing going on. A lot of thing going on. Do he think he's poly about he's being honest? He has no reason to lie. Honestly, like if he is still married or like he's not poly and dating somebody more seriously, I personally wouldn't give a fuck. He lives in Kentucky. It's like a 5 hour ride, so he's not like the closest, not the farthest. But I think that he's just been fun to talk to be honest with you. I feel like that's why I don't know about him, because it's like I'm attracted and he's cute or whatever. But like as a friend, like I'm loving his energy. Like he's so funny, so insightful. And he lets me talk about whatever the fuck I want, and he be acting like he really cares, and I'm like, okay. Honestly, the bar is very low for him. Like I really don't. I feel like because he's so cool and where's that water? Bitch, I feel like I'm getting sick. Like, I felt like this weird thing in my nose, and now I'm getting the sniffles bad. I'm so stressed. The last thing I need is to be sick, but I was in the world today. And honestly, big red flag. I was talking to this guy, and he was like, I wonder why people wear masks in their car. And I'm like, they're wearing the mask like to probably about to go somewhere, but it's like not you're criticizing why people are wearing masks. Like, are you okay? Hey, Medusa Beauty, how are you? Not the world is really an open book. You are adorable, Violet. I appreciate you. Yeah, poly fidelity, as I said, is one of the more toxic parts of poly, because they are interested in a hierarchy. Like that marriage is the main, and so everybody else kind of spins around the married people. And a lot of times, what I notice happening is like married women will find a woman in that poly situation, or in that open situation, and then they'll just leave the man. Like, I feel like that's what's happening a lot. People are not talking about that, but there's a lot of women who, like, once the man is like, I want to bring in another woman, those two women end up falling in love, and it's so beautiful. But it's been happening like generationally. Like, I have a friend who it just happened to him and his own fucking dad, and I'm like, bitch, what's not clicking? What's up? I made a rotisserie chicken. Oh, Crispin, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, thank you so much. Wow. Yeah. 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 My life. Like, you see what time it is, bitch? It's 12. It's midnight. He just pulled a rotisserie chicken off the motherfucking grill, bitch. I'm blessed. Anyways. Ooh, I appreciate you for asking. No, my roommate is so amazing. I'm obsessed. I'm so grateful. But I do think that Violet, thank you for asking that, by the way. But yeah, I do think that I should go and like probably relax and like take care of myself. But I just want to like sum up like why I came here tonight. I literally came here because I had a podcast bro drag me and basically asked me to define misogyny because I called him misogynistic. And this is after he spent a long time talking about how women get hundreds of likes on dating sites and women have so much access to men and sex. And it just was reminding me of my ex who told me that like he had written this like manifesto about how he was jealous of sexy people and he wanted them to die. And I was like, what? And this is way after we had been dating for a while, and he just like brings up how like he had gone to the hospital and he had been like emotionally like he had been an incel clearly, but that word didn't exist yet. But he was an incel before incel was even being talked about. Like, he was incelling in like fucking '07, bitch. Maybe even '06. So yeah, bitch. And obviously, not a tarnished year, bitch. I'm crying, but I'm just saying, like the concept of like women being attractive and desirable, that also harms men. And I'm not saying it doesn't harm women. It harms women first. But patriarchy and the way that it sets up like women to like be like prizes automatically like makes men see women with hate. And it's so creepy because men will really pop out and be like, women have so much, women are like, this one man was telling me women have it so much better than men, like blah blah. And it's just like, whoa, like, are y'all okay? But from their perspective, they're seeing like skewed media. Like, they're seeing men complain about women and they're like, yeah, me too. And it's so awkward because it's like, why are you going out on dates with women then? Like, that's what I always wonder. Like, why are you still trying to link up? But I know it's because they're literally fucking socialized to do that. Like, they're socialized through the internet, through our world, through religion, to desire women in a way that is not healthy. Like, the concept of desire, the concept of sexuality, it's not healthy. Violet. And that's the thing too that sucks is like, I do be like, I did feel tonight like I should have protected myself. Like, as soon as he said like there were a couple things that he said that should have had me like, oh bye. But I was trying so hard to kick it in the combo. And it sucks because it's like I talk to black cis men and like they're like, patriarchy doesn't exist. Like, there are a lot of black men who don't think patriarchy exists, and it's awkward. Then there's black men who think that like transphobia is valid. And then there's white men who are racist and like we're just waiting for it to pop out. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in a shit show, and like I know that like there's other people to date, but I also feel like when we say that there's other people to date, we also have to hold that like other people to date are not experiments. Like, when it comes down to it, like me dating someone who's also queer like myself, it is intimidating because if I'm being so for real, like I feel like in queer relationships, it's been the most devastating because that person understood exactly what the fuck I was talking about. That person had the same stakes as me, and like our relationship still didn't fucking like center the kind of empathy and vulnerability that was necessary. So like I'm not saying that it can never, but I feel like the harm or the hurt from like losing queer love is not the same. Like you lose queer love and you lose like your whole community. You literally have to move town. Like it's a completely different isolation event in my opinion than when you're dating a man. You date a man, that's fine. It's not fine. You'll still be down bad, but your friends will still be there for you. But I feel like you date someone who's queer or just in your same kind of like identity, and I do think that your world is a little bit smaller. Like I feel like when I dated a woman, I had so many more queer friends. As soon as we broke up, a bunch of queer people and me just no longer were friends. We're no longer cool. And honestly, I don't know how much of that had to do with me not being with a queer woman. I don't know how much of that had to do with me dating cis men again. I don't know how much that had to do with anything. But when I lost like my queer relationship with my partner, like that was devastating on another level. Like honestly, I was reflecting about one of my queer relationships and I was thinking about how there were just like so many moments that like just stand out to me. Like there was a moment where like I first had met her mom and like her mom had a picture of me already, a picture of me and her already printed out on the wall. And in retrospect, like obviously she didn't know me, but it's like I'm a stranger who's like with your child. That's a love bomb, bitch. Like that is a love bomb. And I didn't see it like that. Like I thought like, "Oh, wow, you already like me. You're already approving of our relationship." Like I'm thinking cuz neurotypical people do shit. Like neurotypical people, and maybe she's not even neurotypical, but it's like neurotypical people will do shit like maybe not neurotypical. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But she going to take a picture of me and put it on her wall, but then be mean to me. That's confusing as fuck. I'm so sorry. Like, why do that? Who knows? But I'll never forget, like, one day we were in the car and I had, like, put some flowers, like, in her hair and she just started crying. And then I was just like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "My mom would rather I be with a man than you." And I didn't even know what to say to that. I don't think I even said anything. I just was like, and I just feel like moments like that, like those don't happen with like a white cis man. I'm not saying that other moments are not devastating, but like when your fucking partner is like you're having an intimate moment where you're putting like flowers in your partner's hair and they immediately tell you like, "Oh, my mom hates you." Or like, "Oh, my mom actually would rather me not be gay." Like those are devastating moments. It is. And those are moments that stick with you in a way that like moments with like these dudes do not. Cause it's like it just meant so much more. That's just that. I appreciate you so much for saying that, Medusa. Um I mean, it was honestly a really sad moment, but it also was like a moment of just like realizing that like I feel like as much as like I'm still like demystifying like who I want to be with and like who I want to love and where I want to put my energy. Like, I still do, I think, fuck cis men out of self harm. And I feel like I have to hold that. I feel like I have to hold that L for myself that, like, I'm just so used to, I think, being treated poorly by cis men that I'm just still doing it. And I feel like when I was hooking up with that person recently, like, I was having so much fun in the moment. But then, like, there's that after effect where I just know that patriarchy doesn't allow a man to value you after they use you sexually. Like, you're either someone that they value or you're someone that they use. And so I wanna fuck. And like these men are like, "Oh, I get to treat you poorly because you're not in that category of women I respect." And it's like, so I can't even fuck you guys. I can't even give you a scoop of pussy. That's sad. They do. And then also on top of that, it's like, yo, dating someone who's not a man, I hate to say this, but patriarchy teaches like femmes and non men to move extremely quickly in love. Like, I'm not saying that every relationship that femmes are in is gonna be fast. But that you hauling joke is not really a joke, babe. I just feel like femmes, we be knowing seemingly where we're what we're feeling and we go with it. But I think that that's part of patriarchy. Like patriarchy teaches us how to love just like it teaches men. So patriarchy tells us love is when you're getting butterflies and you're, it's like if you watch enough movies, you kind of understand what love is supposed to be. But unfortunately, like, you watch the wrong movies and you might think that love is something else. Like this woman, her name is Melanie Hamlet. She's doing this series on like all these like weird movies about all these movies that reinforce weird stereotypes and like weird ways that women should be reacting. And she brought up Edward Scissorhands, and honestly, I never liked Edward Scissorhands. I always thought that was a weird fucking movie. I always thought that movie was strange as fuck. I was like, wait, why is this white bitch still in Avon? Like, this is crazy. Like, I was just like, why is this a part of the movie? What is Tim Burton trying to say to us about Avon? And then the fact that he has scissors for hands, like, I'm sorry. I just feel like it never gave. People love Johnny Depp. People really love Johnny Depp. I don't have it. I never had it. But shout out to all those who do. You know? I was never a Johnny Depp fan. One of my friends was collecting every Johnny Depp movie. That shit was funny as fuck to me. Shout out to Belinda, but I'll never forget that. She was like, bitch, I gotta get Pirates of the Caribbean too. I was like, bitch, not you trying to get a real girl. I'm crying. Like people that be getting like somebody whole fucking like he was good in Sweeney Todd. I'll give him that. But I don't be not you love those hands. I'm crying. But yeah, no. But she basically was talking about how if you look at Edward Scissorhands, like Edward was an incel. Like Edward seen a picture of the daughter. Damn, I'm blanking on her. The daughter. I would say her name was like. Damn, she was the white lady that be stealing. Winona. I feel bad. I feel bad. The way I said the white lady that be stealing. Winona. Woo, Miss Winona. Anyways, no shade. Everybody be stealing it. Excuse me, shoplifting. Um, bitch, who isn't? Yeah, Will Ferrell's weird too. I agree with that. Yeah. But yeah, no. Edward Scissorhands saw a picture of Winona Ryder and immediately was like, I love her. Also, why was the mom putting Edward in the daughter bedroom? That's weird. And then why was the daughter having to go sleep in the basement? That's weird. And then also, the daughter was being spied on by Edward the whole motherfucking time. And then on top of that, um, when Winona was like feeling like when we were supposed to be seeing Winona liking him, she was feeling pity for him. And I had to sit with that because honestly, like a few weeks ago when I was dealing with that one dude and I was really out here like talking about how his house was looking and things like that, I wasn't realizing in the moment, but I was pitying this man and I was really thinking that that was me being a nice person or being or treating him good. And I have to hold that like patriarchy really does have some of us out here thinking that like, oh, I can help this man in this way or that. Like that is part of fucking patriarchy. Is thinking that a man needs your help and you could do something for him. That's not motherfucking true. Like that is not true. And you should not put that on yourself. But we do. Like people put on themselves that they should be the one um people put on themselves that they should be the one um to fix a man or help a man in a particular way when it's like, babes, actually, it doesn't make sense to do all of that for that man. You don't know him, he's a stranger. But in some respects, I think that it does sometimes make some of us feel good to feel needed. And you know what else? There was a man telling me that, like, ever since he got his shit together, it's harder to find a woman because women like broken men. And it was such a fascinating thing because it was like, wow, like there are men that think there are women that want a man that need help to be mothered, but in retrospect, he was not wrong. I do think that there's a difference between meeting a man who has his shit together and is doing well for himself and meeting a man that you feel like you can help out in a way. Like I think that there's something there to unpack, and I don't know that I have the fucking spoons to do that right now. But I wanted to put that out there that like if you're with a man or you see a man and he's down bad and you're like, "Oh, I can help him. I see his potential." Sweetie, that is a part of fucking patriarchy. You are not the mother. You're not the mother. You're not the fucking caretaker. You're not the maid. You're not any role in his life that takes care of him. You shouldn't be that. That is not why you exist. And sometimes I do think that because of patriarchy being a system, we do think sometimes that, we can help this man exist. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody was raised like that. Some people were really raised to see a man providing as his job. Now, in my honest opinion, I feel like when it comes down to like provider, protector, I think that we should all be taking a hand in providing and all be taking a hand in protecting. And I think that that should be a trait shared amongst people in general. But because we live in a patriarchy, there are a lot of women that expect men to operate in this particular way. And because of that, they also, unfortunately, are kind of signing up for men to be the dominant people who dictate shit to others. And I feel like that's what sucks the most is that there's times where like women will be saying shit and I'll be like, fuck, because you're saying some shit and you're hitting it. But at the same time, you still expect a man to do something for you in a certain type of way that puts him in power over you. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a man spoiling you, treating you well, doing nice things for you. But there are times where I hear women say things that make me realize that the conversation around sex work, johns, and tricks needs to be fucking brought the fuck up and called to the motherfucking I wanted to say pulpit and carpet at the same time, and it did not work out. But we have to have that conversation at some fucking point. We have to. Because every man that we meet out here is not a trick. We have to hold that. And I know that some of us don't want to. I know some of us think every man is a trick, and that's fine. Live life, ho. The fuck am I gonna do about that? But every man not a trick. And I feel like that's the gag of it all. Is like if we operate like every man owes us money because they have access under patriarchy, then what do we owe them? And I feel like that's what we're not thinking about. Cause it's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't want a man to protect me. I want him to not harm me. You hear me? I don't want his protection. I want him to fucking go get some help. I want him to get access to fucking mental health care. I want him to go to therapy. I want him to have a space to run around and get out that energy. I want him to have loving men around him who tell him when he is engaging in violent behavior and not making it safe for the hoes. And so if those are the things that I want, how do we get those things? And I also have to be candid that, like, as someone who is agender, I do feel like it's important for me to talk to men. And I know in some respects that, like, there are going to be men that don't want to talk to me, and that's fine. But I'm unwilling to see how clear it is that patriarchy is harming everybody. But any response non men have, women have, trans people have against patriarchy is seen as an attack on men, not the system. And so it's important for us to really, and when I say us, I mean agender people, people who really don't live in the binary, who don't believe that anyone is supposed to do anything inherently, and that we need to share we need to share the ways that we delegate tasks. Like, there are men out there that really think that women are the ones who know how to love in a natural way. I had a man tell me straight up that women are naturally loving. And I was like, everyone's naturally loving. And then we lose it. It gets stolen from us. And he didn't want to hear that shit. And I'm like, fuck, like, I was like, do you realize that you probably were such a sweet little cherub What up, Ohio? Like, do you realize that you were like a sweet little baby angel, and then like the world started to tell you that you had to like beat people up? Like the world started to tell you that you wanted to play with guns, gun toys. Like I don't know, like if men like I know that men don't really sit with how like one day they're watching Caillou, and next thing you know they want to kill people. They want to fucking destroy shit. They want to call people fucking all kind of weird names on Xbox Live. Like socialization happens very quickly. Like think about when you was with your friends. Think about when you met that new friend group and all those people was acting real different, different than any other friend group you ever been in. How quickly did it take before you start acting like them? You get what I'm trying to say here? Like all it takes is for you to go to a new environment and you just want to fit in. And now you're a whole fucking misogynist weirdo and you're 8. And again, what does it look like to find loving men? How do we find them? Where are they? Bitch, I'm really random for saying this, but my fucking Uber Eats driver the other day was so fine. And he was like, oh, because my roommate wanted a milkshake and she was craving it really hard. And I was like, bitch, I tried to get it for her. They ain't had the milkshake. And so I told the person, I was like, honestly, it's all good. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, it's not for me. Like, I'll just tell my roommate. I was like, but also, you're cute as hell. He was like, you're cute as hell. I was like, bitch, let me find out. So then we exchanged information on Uber Eats. Sweetie, he is so fucking fine. His name is Jabril. Oh my fucking God. But if I'm being honest with y'all, I'm really just trying to have good fun. And with Jabril, I feel like his vibes are so cute. Like, I just feel like we had a really good combo. And I'm like, ooh, a queer man, a non binary queer man of color. Hello? Are we here? Listen, I'm taking it slow as fuck. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. I'm really not trying to get caught up. As I said, I'm trying to be single as fuck. I'm not trying to get caught up with nobody. Like I said, I want 16 boyfriends by my birthday because I want 16 gifts, ho. The fuck? We trying to get our money up, ho. We already, bitch, I'm already in the burrs. We already in the burrs. September, October, November, December. We're in the burrs, bitch. I gotta get my boyfriends up. I've met people who are like gray ace. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, I feel like I've met people that weren't like into sexuality. And to be honest with you, I feel like I'm more into like fucking myself than I am fucking other people. Like I'm really good with my vibrator. Like I'm actually really great. My vibrator never did me no harm. You know? Like my vibrator never did me dirty. My vibrator never played me out. Never asked me for no nudes. Like you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. Like I feel like my vibrator really is like my main relationship, and then I deal with other people. But I don't know, you guys. Honestly, I need to take a shower so bad, bitch. I was gonna take a shower tonight, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it, and I'm sad about it because I really am a funky ass bitch. But tomorrow, bitch, when I wash, and I'm seeing one of my little boyfriends, bitch, tomorrow. He coming to do a shift for me, which I'm really appreciating. But if I could be honest with you, my little boyfriend Ian, bitch, he's so weird. Like he's so weird and silly. But I don't know, bitch. I feel like he about to just be my friend and not my boyfriend. I don't know if he's gonna make it all the way to December. I don't see it. Like he cool, but I could be wrong, bitch. I could be really wrong, but I don't really see it for him. Also, tell me why this ugly ass boy tried to call me fat after he swiped on me, and we were talking and we were having the driest conversation. He's like, "Where do you live?" I was like, "Maybe ask me a less invasive question." He was like, "Your profile says where you live," and I was like, "And yet you decided to ask me instead of asking me a cool question." And then he was like, "Eat more McDonald's, fat ass," and I was like. I'm like, why are y'all swiping on fat bitches though? That's you know what? That is what gets me. Like that is what gets me. Like, huh? But no, he really like was like, oh, he's like, your profile says where you're at, and then gonna send me a send me a fucking copy and paste of my motherfucking my city, and I'm just sitting here like, babe, you know you was asking for my cross streets. Thanks, Booski. They really do be on the apps playing, and that's the thing too. Is like he was, bitch. The gag is he was built like, what was that boy off The Incredibles? The one that was acting a fool, the one that was mad, and so he like was like, I'm gonna get my revenge. He looked like that bitch, and I honestly only swiped on him because he had some thigh tattoos that look cool, and I was just like, you know. Bitch, I be swiping too sometimes. Like every now and then, I won't even read a bio. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'll learn, a new artistry style from you. Maybe you'll eat my pussy. I don't know. I can't call it. But yeah. Bitch, if they even have a bio. This one man bio was just his IG. And I was like, who doing that? Who just going to your IG to talk to you? And yo, that's another thing. That fucking podcast, bro. He was like, women never. I think that's actually what started the fight. Is I was saying that like we don't live in a world that empowers women to reach out to men and say like I want to date you, I'm attracted to you. Like we don't live in a world like that. But we also do live in a world where men devalue women for being forward or saying I like you, I'm attracted to you. Can we go go out sometime? And like the thing that blows me about that is like it's a lot of women and non-men who like want to say what they like and how they feel, but there's just so many people that are weird. Like I feel like that's the thing that annoys me. Is like I know that I want to fuck some people and some people want to fuck me. But there's gonna be some people that don't want to just fuck me. And that's cool too. I'm excited about that. I can't wait for that. But I feel like I'm trying to realize, or not realize, but just hold that like some people, I'm going to fuck them, they're gonna fuck me. And maybe it's lit, maybe it's not, but oh well. Nothing we can do about that. Cause like I fucked people and all I wanted was their dick. That happens. It sucks, if that person really likes us and wants us to like them in another way. But sometimes all somebody got is dick and bubblegum, babe. And so I'm really just holding space for the people that have dick and kindness, friendliness, tacos. You know what I mean? Cause bitch, I feel like again, I'm trying to get out of my era of taking the crumbs, the small piece of chicken. And I feel like that last situation, that last dude I dealt with, I'm glad I unmatched him because honestly, bitch, there was a part of me that was like my Capricorn stellium was like, bitch, he said he's gonna take you on vacation. But it's like, bitch, but his mouth smell like, his breath smell like taco truck. So it's like, what we gonna do in a car with the window up? He don't like to roll the window down. I can't do it. Exactly. It smelled like cat poop. Like he, but she had. Okay, this is stupid but hilarious forever. There's this. I don't know if y'all gonna like it. I'm so sorry if y'all don't care. But back in the day, like back before the internet was like really interneting all the way, um, there was this like little challenge that happened called like shit girls say, and there was one called shit New Orleans girls say. Bitch, you should watch it. There's a part two that's like not as funny, but the part one kills me. Cause like it's supposed to be like two New Orleans girls talking, and she was like, "Girl, his breath smell like cat poop. It smell like taco truck." And I was like, "Bitch, oh my god!" They was like, "Bitch, his breath smell like rallies." They're like, they're like, "Bitch, you smell like rally fries." Bitch, I was dying. It was just so funny, bitch. Um, Violet, say that with the pico, bitch. I'm crying. Listen, I have to hold space for the fact that I just feel like I'm not in a place to like date a femme. Cause I'm honestly still a little dirt right now. Honestly, like I'm still living a little dirt. I feel like that's also why again I'm self harming with men, cause it's like, bitch, I'm not at my motherfucking best. I'm not at my bestest, and I feel like, don't get me wrong, we don't gotta be at our bestest to be fucking with people, but I just feel like, baby, I'm trying to stress a man out. Okay, I'm trying to have a man be stressed right now. I don't want to stress out no old lady, baby. I can't do it, baby. I'm already going through trials and tribulations. Let me take out this man fridge. You know what I mean? Let me take out of his wallet. You feel me, bitch? I'm trying to get back on my grizzly hoe. But with that being said, fuck these men. Get money for real. If you're pregnant, leave the baby at his mama house. Um, he'll see the baby when he go by there to get some food. It's gonna work out. I promise you. Anyways,